Hey people, it's been a while. Well, I don't know. There's been videos going up, but I honestly don't have track of them. Similar to WWC last night, we gotta have a chat. It's early for my update video, but I'm putting it up now because I just need to discuss some things that happened. As a lot of people have been able to tell, the last month has not been good for me. The last month and a half has not been good for me. If you want to say the last 2-3 months since TBC, when I got tossed out of TBC, have not been good for me. I've spiraled, things have been not going well, I've distanced myself from people, I've basically just kind of stopped caring, and emotions have gotten the better of me, and so on and so forth, and a lot of different things. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes just talking about it, but it's well known that I have some mental health problems. I have anxiety, I have depression, I have OCD, I have PTSD, I have a whole number of things that are wrong with me. Okay? And I accept it, and I am who I am. I'm not going to be upset about it. But since the pandemic set on, and I was quarantined for several months, basically living here at my dad's work and, not doing a lot, some stuff has come up, and it has caused me to be emotionally unstable. I haven't had therapy in over 3 months, 4 months, whatever. I think it was February, so 5 months now since I went to therapy, which is really weighing on me. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to therapy at this point. It's I'm going to talk about something that I don't talk about because, I'm not asking for sympathy, I'm not asking for pity, but I'm asking for understanding, because I am normally a very open book, and there are some things that I'm not open about at all, and this is one of them, and I'm going to be open about it, or somewhat open about it, because I don't wish to have these problems anymore. You all know that I was bullied, and I was bullied for a long time, and I was bullied until, sorry, my brother is texting me. I was bullied until I beat my bullies up, which was a massive detriment to me, to do that, to physically hurt somebody like that, and that's why I don't hurt people anymore, and I'm fully opposed to violence. But after that bullying ended, the physical bullying, the harassing of that, there was another bullying situation that I don't talk about. And that was more of a adult bullying, basically. Unwanted abuse. Long story short, it was abuse. It was sexual abuse, it was inappropriate behavior, it was me being incredibly young and not knowing what the hell was going on. And by young, I mean I was in 10th grade. And sheltered from the world and didn't know anything. And didn't realize it at the time, but it was abuse. It was basically abuse. And that abuse messed me up. It led to an addiction of sorts, which I've never talked about this with my parents or anybody else except for my therapist. And even then, I don't talk about it that much because it is very emotional and very hard for me to deal with that. And I know people say men can't be assaulted or anything, but they can, and I was. And it messed me up, and I turned to an addiction in order to deal with it. nothing drug related, but it severely affected my mental state, and it is tied in with my PTSD. There are points where something will trigger me, and I will flash back to that point, and I will flash back to struggling with addiction and various other problems that I have. And so, being in quarantine, being by myself a lot of the time, I had a lot of time to think, and in doing so, it drug up. It also doesn't help that in therapy we were working through this, because I'm trying to move past it in my life and trying to come to terms with what happened so I can move forward in life. And so those wounds were open and fresh, and I didn't have therapy to go talk to every week to deal with it. And so I started to have not necessarily a relapse, but I started having problems where I felt like I was going to relapse. And I'm sorry to those of you that thought I was perfect. I'm not. But I started struggling with it, and because I was struggling with that, I couldn't keep myself in check. I couldn't control my emotions. I started letting anger dictate my life. I started distancing myself, because when I was younger, that's what I did, was I distanced myself so I wouldn't hurt those that I care the most about. And I started shutting down, and that led to harder and harder fighting against relapsing, and harder dealing with mental issues, and just becoming unglued, essentially, is what happened. And I mean, it culminated last night. I was about ready to walk away from everything. I was ready to quit WWC. I was ready to quit YouTube, quit Twitch streaming, turn the server over to Jake, and just walk away and be done. Because I was so mentally drained and distraught by everything. And like, to carry on from the incident in high school, my ex-girlfriend used me for money, babysitting, and sex. She proposed to me during sex, because she knew that if she did that, I was in a position where if I say no, we don't have sex. If I say yes, because I just want to keep having sex, then I'm engaged and trapped. And it wasn't right. And she continued to manipulate me through sex. Whenever I'd get mad, oh, we'll go have sex, or this and that. And it wasn't good. And that's tied into the addiction and the PTSD, and why I went for help when that fell apart. So, the last few months being alone, I mean, not having a therapist to talk to and all that, ate away at me, eroded at me. My league play suffered. My passion for YouTube was lost. I haven't enjoyed doing draft. Being perfectly honest, I haven't enjoyed doing draft league since APA Academy ended. When that Wi-Fi season ended, I lost my passion for draft league. I've gone on huge skids. I got tossed from TBC. I'm doing poorly in SBT and LTPL and BRL. I started going on a 3-game. I won my first 3 matches and then started to fall apart again when my mental health started to creep in again. And it can be seen that I have not been okay for a few months now. My YouTube content has been sporadic. I've looked back at the videos and I'm sitting there kind of like this, just, I'm recording, but I'm not there. I'm trying to. I smile, I fake it, I laugh, but on the inside I was just dead. and didn't care, and I didn't want to do anything. I built weeks ahead in draft leagues. I recorded when I didn't want to record. It became a chore that I did not feel good about. And so, with it all being said and done, I don't know. When it was all said and done, I hit a low point last night. And still feeling it a little bit. I sent an email to my therapist, and she was able to email me back and kind of work through it. And I have an amazing coworker that just listened to me vent, and she vented her problems to me, and I'm in a better headspace. Starting WWC up, then I started to get the passion back. Before I talked to my therapist, I was already starting to get my passion back. I was starting to get on the upswing. I was out in public. I've been working for 3 weeks now, out in public, trying to, get my life moving forward, and I'm feeling better because of that. And then the shit hit the fan with the release of this leagues and all that, I'm not even going to address it right now, but as far as why I refuse to go down a division into Gamma, why I'm staying in Delta. Anyways, my mental health is better. I know last night I had a meltdown, but that was the last piece of dealing with the last 3 months. After I have a meltdown, my mentality switches, I get feeling better, all that. I'm working on my mom getting it to the point where she will allow me to go to therapy somehow, whether that's telehealth, whether that's in person once every 2 weeks, once every month, just to help me try to continue to move forward with life. But the fire is back. The passion is back. I'm recommitted to doing the things that I was doing before the pandemic set in. I'm ready to give it my all in draft leagues. I'm limiting my draft leagues here shortly in order to try and not overwhelm myself. I am putting a support group around me for commissioners and other to try and make sure that I'm not taking too much on and stressing. But that passion, that fire, what I started out doing YouTube for, which thank you everyone for 100 subs. I didn't mention that yet, but I greatly appreciate it. What I started out to do, providing content for people who are down, providing a safe place for people that are down, and giving that. It's back. That passion is back. The fire is lit under my ass. I'm going to say that August videos are going to be a little messed up just because of a timing schedule with me working 45 hours, it seems like, almost 42, something like that, hours a week. My ability to record, and that is very limited. So it's going to be messed up until I can figure out how to get ahead properly, and September should hopefully get rolling better. But I'm ready to go back to how we did it. I'm ready to try streaming again, which is part of the reason why I haven't streamed since March. I just wasn't in the mental state to stream. I'm ready for YouTube to come back strong. I'm ready to come back and be the weather gamer. I have not been the weather gamer for months. And so, to everyone that I've hurt and everyone that I've distanced myself from, I apologize. I'm not big on sharing the fact that I have been abused twice sexually. But putting it behind me, getting in contact with my therapist again, hearing what I heard last night from people, I'm ready to get back to work. So I thank you guys for hanging out and being my friends, my family, and all that. I'm ready to move forward from this point going forward, and let's just go back to what it was. Let's run it back and make the rest of 2020 as good as it can. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And I will get things uploaded more regularly. I will probably still post another update video, but I just needed to get this one out for right now.